We're on the road. Where transportation goes, community grows. Welcome to On the Road with the MTA. And welcome to another exciting edition of On the Road with the MTA. I'm Jay Gibbons alongside with Stephanie Kay from the MTA. How's Stephanie sitting over there?
Hey, Jay. Okay.
Hey, Jay.
It all rhymes.
Something new for 2025.
Oh, that's right. Hey, it's going to be a great year for all of us, I think.
Absolutely.
I'm looking forward to it for sure. Good. Because 2024 wasn't so great. So.
Really?
Well, yeah. So we got to move on. Better things, right? I was sick all through Christmas. I had to miss the Christmas fun and
I hate
cancel
getting sick,
stuff.
especially at the holidays.
I know. You don't want to get all sick, work sick, so you have to stay home, and that's not fun. But I'm back. And
You're
I'm back
back
with a lot of our coworkers, which I love this. Jay, I get a chance to work with you every week, which I so love.
Yep.
I get a chance to work with Michelle Loper a lot because she and I work together. Michelle's with us right now. Michelle, give us your title of what you do here.
I am the Mobility Community Services Liaison.
Now you see why I asked her to say it? That's
Yes,
a
exactly.
mouthful. When people ask, I say, well, she works in the community connecting people, and she's a great liaison.
Yeah, and I don't know what the title is, and don't ask me to spell it.
No, I know. But, Michelle, I love this fact that you have a husband that works here as well, and he's with us. Harvey, I know they call you Ken sometimes. Should I call you Harvey or Ken?
Oh, yeah. Call me Harvey today.
Okay, Harvey. Well, Harvey, I had a chance to meet you not too long ago, and you drove us down to Detroit that we had a conference to go to. And thank you for your services. We felt better having you with us, and you
you're
were
welcome.
wonderful, and you were fun. And how long have you been a driver for Rides to Wellness here?
6 years, the 19th of this month.
Really?
Yay.
Well, happy anniversary. Happy
Thank
anniversary.
you.
I will have 5 years in May, so we're about the same time.
Okay.
So did they hire you first or Michelle?
They hired me first.
Okay. And what made you want to work here? What happened?
To tell you the truth, I was working at Carmen Ainsworth Middle School.
Oh, I bet you kids know who you are then. What'd you do there?
They do. I was hall monitor.
Oh,
They know you in a good way then.
Yeah.
I would not misbehave if Harvey came up to me like, oh, what, sir, what did I do wrong? So how long were you there?
I was there a year and a half.
Okay. So what
And those hallways are longer than a football field. And they have about 5 of them.
wow, really?
So after a year and a half, it was kind of getting to me and whatever. And I was thinking about doing something different. And I come home one day and sat down and watched TV, and I seen an advertisement for MTA's Ride to Wellness.
Our commercials work?
Yes, they do.
Great. So what did it say to make you think, hey, that might be a good job
It
for
told me to come on down.
me? Was that the one you saw Mr. Benning driving in a car and saying we need people?
No, it wasn't that one, but it was one. And at the same time, I just said to myself, you know what? I'm going to apply for that. I'd rather ride around than walk around.
I am so glad you did because you are just a delight. You're a joy. Every time you come around to see Michelle, it's like a little breath of fresh air. You're just really always in a good mood. Is he always in a good mood at home too?
He is. He rarely ever gets angry or mad, and it takes a lot to make him angry.
Well, you guys are the cutest couple ever. We got in the car,
thank
Jay,
you.
to go to, he was going to drive us down to Detroit, which is an hour and a half drive. And it was really early in the morning. And we were like still rubbing our eyes. And he said a prayer for us before we left. I thought, oh, how sweet is that? They are the cutest couple on this planet Earth. Everybody wants to have a
thank
relationship
you.
like you
Thank
guys.
you.
Thank you so
Absolutely.
much.
I mean that. I want to be with you guys all the time.
It
so.
took about 33 years to get there.
Oh, yes. So tell us that story. How did you two meet?
Well, actually, we met at the workplace. I was working at Genesee Bank, and he was working at Genesee Bank, and he saw me one day and unlocked my car because I happened to lock my keys in the car, and the next time I did it, I think I did it on purpose.
I was going to say, did you do that on purpose? How cute he is.
On purpose, and he said, well, I'll unlock your car if you give me your phone number, and so the rest is history.
Oh, I love it. You can feel that attraction right away, couldn't
Right.
you?
And it's funny because Genesee Towers is no longer with us anymore.
But
So
your
that was
love
a
still
landmark.
is. Yep.
Absolutely.
Well, you're both
Exactly.
adorable, so I can see you probably
Well,
fell in love
thank
right away, right? You probably thought, ooh, love at first
yeah,
sight.
it was. When I first saw him, I thought, I really like him.
Yes. So was that job taking you walking around too? Were you a security guard
Yeah,
there?
that one's, yeah. I've been walking around for quite a while.
Yes. Well, now you get to ride
For
around with
quite a
MTA.
long time, I've
And
been
then-
walking around.
And then you walked her down the aisle, and that was the best
Yeah,
walk
that
you
was
had.
the biggest walk of my life.
They say the shortest sentence in the American history is I am, and the longest sentence is I do.
I never heard that. That's
Yeah,
a
it's
good
a
one.
good
That's a good one.
But not for you guys. You're adorable. I've seen your children. I've seen your grandchildren, and they are adorable.
Thank you.
I hope I don't embarrass you, but I want you to share the story about your little 2-year-old grandson when he had had enough with his mom. It was so cute.
I just told her he had enough, and he just said to her, leave me alone, leave me alone, leave me alone.
She said,
And
what?
she said, are you telling me to leave you alone? And he just said it again.
Leave me alone.
Leave me alone. Leave me alone. It's only 2 years old, but he knew he had had enough of his mom, so he told her to leave him alone.
Oh, but it wasn't quite that. It wasn't leave me alone. It was leave me alone. Leave me alone.
Leave me alone. Couldn't get it out right, so he just knew the leave and the alone. Leave alone.
Leave alone. You got to put that in his baby book. That is so cute. Well, no, Harvey, I'm so glad that you're here working for us because I love working with Michelle. She gets the job done. She's very professional. But you, I must say, you've made a difference, whether you realize it or not. We had a client that had a brain injury when she went on vacation, and she was at a water park, had a brain injury, and so she couldn't even get home. She was stuck out of state. She didn't have any family or friends. Once she got here, she had to go through rehab. She had to go through so much. She was a single mom of 2 kids, and she said she used some other services that her insurance company provided for her. They wouldn't show up. They were late. She said it was not a good experience for her. And then she called MTA and Rides to Wellness. She said 2 different people picked her up. One I'm going to have on the show later. Her name was Jody Nevis, and she's going to probably be on maybe next week or the week after. And she just said how nice Jody was and friendly and kind and made her feel normal. Didn't make her feel like she had a brain injury. Didn't make her feel like she was disabled in any way. But then she said Harvey Loper came in, and she said he was funny. He was kind. I'm going to read to you what she said because I don't want to misquote. This is so important. She said, of course, she said that Jody made her feel normal and like I had no brain injury. She helped me out in a way where I felt made me feel like I could be independent. Then one day, Harvey Loper came in. The same thing. He was kind, caring, funny, and just a wonderful person to be around. After several months of utilizing Rides to Wellness services and hearing all the positive things that you, the employees, had to say about the company, and they were always smiling and appeared to love what they were doing. Fast forward, I see a job opening, much like you did, Harvey. So I applied after being off work for 9 months. And I got the interview, and then I was hired. So I am so forever grateful, not only for those Rides to Wellness drivers that came and made me feel good again, but for Rides to Wellness for giving me a life-changing opportunity to get back on my feet. I am so thankful for MTA being a big part of that gratitude. Isn't that wonderful? I know. It gave me goosebumps. I wanted to applaud. I know.
Yes, it is.
And you made that difference.
To hear that feedback, yes.
Yes. Did you ever hear that story before? I know I gave it to Michelle to read to you, but did you know that before?
No, I did. I didn't have a clue.
Well, see what a difference you make. I mean, I know you might be tired or stressed or trying to work through all this construction, which I give you a lot of credit for all that, but you're taking veterans to the hospital and to the doctor and to dialysis. They couldn't get there without you, or the grocery store. You're making a huge difference. Do you see that every day?
Yeah, I'm glad I can make a difference. That's what I strive for. First of all, I try to make everybody feel at home and comfortable, and I don't know what kind of day they're having at the time, but I know what kind of day they're going to have.
Yeah.
When they get with me.
You're like a comedian on wheels, aren't you? You're just like a little...
Come on, let's pick it up or whatever. And I can usually detect if they want to talk or not.
Yeah.
Whatever. And so
on an average day for you, because I know we have your ride drivers and we have Rides to Wellness drivers, and your Rides to Wellness, which is anything health and wellness, the grocery store, the pharmacy, the doctors, the dentist. Yeah. So that is Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. Correct? Is that how they run their Rides to Wellness?
Yes, that's
Actually,
correct.
we start services at 8.
8 to 5. Okay, good.
Yeah.
So on an average day, I know everything's different, but on an average day, take us through what your day is like. Do you take somebody to dialysis and wait for them for a couple hours and then go take them home, or do you drop them off and go get somebody else?
That's not always the case, but sometimes you may have to do that. Typical day is just picking them up and dropping them off and conversating and whatever. And yeah.
So, I mean, I know you go sometimes to the hospital. You will take a veteran all the way to the Ann Arbor Hospital. And do you do that very often?
I love those trips. And so anything you love, you don't get that often.
Well, I remember you.
So I get those very sparingly, but I could take them every day.
Yeah, I remember you coming in and talking to us when you came to visit Michelle, and you said that was your favorite day to do that.
Yeah.
But the average day isn't that then? The average day is just taking them to the dialysis, or?
No, average day is just picking them up and taking them to their destination where they need to go.
But you're constantly busy, right? You pick somebody else up and take them someplace.
Yeah.
Never a dull moment, is there?
No, there isn't.
And you help them if they have a wheelchair. If they have a walker, you get out and help them with that, right?
Oh, yeah. I get out and help them any way I can. Groceries and whatever. If they have any thing that needs to be, especially the damsels. So I help them.
In distress.
Yes.
Well, how tall are you?
I'm 6'2".
I was going to say, you're a big, strong man. All the damsels probably think, oh, here, can you carry my purse? Can you carry my... And you say, I'm happily married, but thank you. I'll carry your bag for you. Well, I love that. So you've been here for 5 years. Michelle, how long have you been here?
I have been here for
6.
5 years. He's been here for 6.
6, yeah.
My anniversary was January the 13th. I
Oh,
just
wow,
celebrated an
yay.
anniversary.
Oh,
Yay.
congratulations.
Thank you.
All right.
Mine's May 5th. And now what about you, Jay?
November 27th,
And how long were you having then?
7 years.
Oh, my. So you're already
Is
vested.
that your higher end date? Or
That was November 27th. Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
that's my brother's birthday.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
well, November's
How
a good
nice
month.
is that?
It's a great month. That's
Mine's-
my birthday too.
Yeah, my
November
wife's
the
my wife's
14th.
birthday's in the November too. So yeah,
Mine's
it's a
the
great month.
23rd of November.
There you go.
Really?
And my best friend Kelly's birthday's in November too. So yeah.
You know why? That
Great
means that you
month.
guys were Valentine's Day babies. That means
That's
you were born in
exactly.
February. Yep.
I'm exactly 9 months from February the 14th.
Are
I'm
you
November
really?
the 14th.
Okay. Most all of my kids were born in September, which means it's a New Year's Eve baby. So you can figure that one out. Yeah, I know. Oh, that's so funny. So yeah, well, you know what? If somebody's listening, they think, well, maybe I want to work there. Tell us why they should work here if they're listening and thinking about it.
Oh, it's just a wonderful place to work. Yeah, it's
Rewarding.
It's first of all, it's rewarding, and it's one of the easiest jobs I ever had in my life.
Oh,
'Cause,
good.
I mean, you can't do this job if you're not a people person.
Right.
You're going to have a hard time, and if you don't love to travel, you're going to have a hard time. So those two things I like very much, and it's like a cakewalk for me.
I remember you came in to visit Michelle in our office, and you said, "You know what? I get paid to drive around town. I kind of like that." I thought, yeah, you get to learn of all the areas in Flint too, don't you? In
Well,
Genesee
yeah,
County.
I've been on streets that I passed 1,000 times
Never
and didn't
knew.
know they were there.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out where this street is, and when I get there, I said, "Oh, I've been here 1,000 times before, but I've never looked at the street."
Now, are you full time or part time?
Part time,
Okay, so do you work 3 days a week?
3 days a week.
That's probably enough, right? As you
Yeah,
retired,
that's
good.
enough.
Yeah. Now I know if you're full time, you get a lot of great benefits. Like you get the insurance, and if you don't need that, you get an extra $218 a month, which is always very nice. And you get your paid birthday, get all your holidays.
Oh,
paid.
yeah,
Do you
that's-
get your birthday off too? Paid?
Yes, I've. One thing I really like about the company is that I never worked for a company. First of all, that you can make your own schedule if you're part time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they
can-
let me make my own schedule. Starting, I
really?
don't know if they still do it or not, but I thought that was really cool to do that.
Well, yeah. I think you hired him when they were doing that. Not sure if they are still or not because the
We
demand.
kind of, because of the demand has gone up, we
Yes.
can't allow part-time folks to make their own schedule, but we do let them know where they're needed, and that always works out too. He happened to come in at a good time where we were able to allow folks to make their own schedule. So I think he's kind of the last of the great folks who got a chance to do that.
Well, good for you. You deserve that. So, what is your schedule?
My schedule is Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, 7 o'clock to 3:30.
That's not bad. You're still home in a decent hour, and you have Friday through Monday off, which is a nice long weekend. That's perfect. Yeah. Then you can cook for Michelle while she's gone.
Yeah, and I've never worked for a company that observes your birthday the way they do. You don't get your birthday off with pay.
Yeah.
No, I've never had
have a
I've
day
never
for
had that happen either.
So even
I
as a
think that's
part-time
amazing.
employee, you still get your birthday paid?
Yes.
Well, and all the holidays paid? If you
Yes.
work a holiday?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah,
That
you
is so
get
very
it.
nice.
They prorate the amount of time that you've been here in your hours, and you get the holiday, and it's prorated. But the longer you work, the higher the prorate is for you.
Oh,
Nice.
that's nice.
Yeah,
Very
it's
cool.
really, really nice, and I just thought that is just awesome.
It really is. I'm
is
just so
awesome.
grateful both of you are working here because I
Yeah.
would have never met you otherwise. That's wonderful.
When I came to work here, I never thought about how long I would be here.
Yeah.
But I certainly didn't think, now that I think about it, that I'd be here this long. But it's awfully hard to quit.
Well, when you
Yes.
love what you do,
Yeah.
it's not a job anymore. So.
Yeah,
Right,
it's
for
like
sure.
not working at all
Yeah.
when you love what you're doing.
Well, I know.
And I thought he would, because he's retired, and I just thought he would kind of go and just kind of kick back. But he is really loving what he's doing, and
Oh,
I
I
just
love
think that's
that.
great. And that's what attracted me to come, because he just kept talking about how great it was to work here, and he would say different things. And I said, "Wow, let me take a look at their website
Yeah.
and just see what's going on at MTA." So I just think that it's great that he's retired, but he still wants to come here and work every week, even if it's just for 3 days, because he really loves and enjoys what he's doing.
I love that. Well, I know you hired in as a Your Ride driver. What did you hire in, Michelle? What did you see that you hired in for?
I hired in as the operations manager of Rides to Wellness. He hired in as a Rise to Wellness.
I meant Rides to Wellness. Sorry, I said Your Ride.
Yes, that's another thing. That's another story.
So she was your boss.
Oh my goodness!
Some companies won't allow that. So I'm glad
I was
they did.
not his boss, and so since we have folks listening on the air, I was not his boss. He had our
Tracy Davis.
director, Tracy Davis, was his boss. I was everybody else's. I wouldn't say his boss. I was a supervisor over everybody, or the manager over everyone, except for Mr. Loper. MTA had the parameters were set that I could not supervise
You couldn't boss him around.
I couldn't boss him around. I did not do his payroll. I didn't do anything that pertained to him. And I have to say they were very cognizant of that, and so was I. So it was a great fit. And you know,
so
a lot of
did
times I
that.
hardly ever seen him until it was time for me to go home, because he was so busy. Come in early and he head out, and then when I came in, it was time for me to do my job. So it worked out great. We were just kind of like passing each other.
And that's another reason why I like working there. They're very cognizant.
Yeah.
They made sure.
It's like, wait a minute, these two are married. Let's keep them separated.
And they really literally kept us separated.
Probably saved your marriage.
And that all was music to my ears.
Right. So we were he come in early and I'd come in an hour later, and we just kind of passed each other, getting ready to come to work, and that was it. So
she can boss you when she gets home.
Yeah.
She
I'm
can be a
thinking
boss.
when she got hired, oh, wow, she's going to boss me at home and at work, too.
But she didn't.
MTA made sure I didn't boss him at work. So
They are so aware of things like that, aren't they?
Absolutely.
They are wonderful about hiring people with, I don't want to say disabilities, different abilities. You know, they hire a lot of people, like we have one little girl right now, Ashley Seymour, who's been on.
She's a wonderful
isn't she
worker.
great?
Wonderful.
She was born as a twin, and her brother was totally fine. There was nothing wrong. She was born with some seizures, and she was totally blind, and she was, had a lot of issues. And she just said, I want a job. And I was trying to help her get a job, and she had a different agency she visited, and they gave her a list of jobs she could do, and the number one thing on top was bus driver. She's blind. That's how much that's how much thought they put into it. Wow. MTA looked at that, and they put so much thought into it. They said, well, she can answer the phone, right? Can she type? So they bought this machine called JAWS that would talk to her through the computer so she could hear it and type back. She went from taking the surveys on the phone to now she's a manager over there at Rides to Wellness, isn't she? Isn't she supervising, or did she go to customer service?
She is actually
Ashley?
Yes, Ashley. She is still at Rise to Wellness, and she does coordinator work. She's helping to book rides, all those things that help our clients get booked for the Rise to Wellness rides. She is phenomenal. I worked with her for many years as her supervisor, and she would book the rides. She when a client called and said the ride was late or whatever the case may be, she was able to go in and say, okay, they're on their way. She got on the radio.
Yes.
She is amazing.
She really is.
Absolutely.
And
so.
she's had her own struggles, and yet she doesn't show that. She just continues
And
going.
She's funny. She's very
She
funny.
is
When we
great.
had our meeting, she said some of the funniest things, and it was just a joy to work with her. I think that was one of the things I missed the most, is working with some of the
yes.
coordinators when I was the operations manager of Rise to Wellness.
Well, yes, and she was actually just totally lost my thought what I was going to say about her. Don't you hate that when
I
that
hate that.
happens?
See, that's what happens when you get older. It's just like
I was listening. Well, she was actually able to help another girl too that we had hired, Jessica.
Jessica.
Yes,
Now,
and
Jessica works for the customer service
Right.
center that we have at the transfer
she's
center.
also
And-
visibly
Right. And she
Challenged.
is catching on really quick. She caught on very quickly and is answering phones for us, taking messages. So the opportunities that we have been able to give persons with disabilities or things that they may
challenges.
feel that would be a challenge for another company, MTA has completely embraced it. And I just think that's awesome. That is really,
Yes.
really awesome.
and Greg, who is in a wheelchair.
Greg,
he
absolutely.
does a great
He
job
works
there.
in the customer service.
Yes.
He does a lot of phone work for us,
Sure.
answering the phones, with helping people, just giving them information. It's just awesome to see them work and just be productive and just like anybody else. And I think that's awesome. And I enjoy the fact that I'm able to work with them them and see them doing that. So it makes me, it inspires me to do the best that I can do.
And I know I was going to say, it came back to me when she was talking about it, to interrupt. Jessica actually, not Jessica, I'm sure she used the services too, but Ashley was so good at it because she'd actually used our services and she knew what was working, what wasn't working. So when she got on the phone and she could talk to the clients and she could help the navigators to say, here's what we need to do with this. She was just a blessing all the way around.
Absolutely,
really
because
great.
of her experience riding. And actually, Mr. Loper used to pick her up.
Yes, she was one of my clients.
Yep, that he would pick up and drop off.
Yeah,
and
we had fun.
Small world, isn't it?
She was able to really help the clients because she's a rider, so she knows. And it was just great working with her. And she helped to onboard Jessica when she came on board. So that was great too.
Yeah,
that was great.
It's like a family, isn't it?
Yes,
absolutely.
It's a good old family. MTA.
The MTA family. Yep.
And you know what MTA stands for, right?
Yep.
Man, that's awesome.
Yep. That's exactly what it means.
One of our other drivers that loved his job told me that. I love that.
Wow, I would have to agree.
Isn't it great? Yes.
Absolutely.
Well, now I know that Michelle and I have to go to another conference, and so we're going to need another ride to Detroit Airport. So can you give us a drive down there again?
Oh,
right?
certainly,
Okay, thank you.
Looking forward to it.
And I got a little game we're going to play in the car again. I know you like my last game.
Oh, no, not the game again.
It was so fun. I took him camping. I'll tell you how that one works.
Oh, now that's a story.
The next one we're going to play is Two Truths and a Lie. Have you ever played that? You tell somebody two truths about yourself and one lie, and we have to guess which one's the lie.
Yeah,
We
can
gotta
make it up.
make the ride down there fun once, so he can bring us down there. So that
That's
should
right.
be fun.
And you have time to think about it. You can make it extravagant as you want. So, yes.
Oh, it'll be extravagant, trust me.
The more extravagant, the more I think it must be real if you have so many details to it. So.
Yeah.
Sounds fun.
All right.
Sounds
Well, I know
fun.
you have a 4:00 appointment. We're going to let you go.
I do.
Yes. Thank you so much. Hope you're not late for it. So we're going to say goodbye to you. Is there anything else you want to say at the last minute here?
Thank you for the opportunity to talk about MTA. And MTA is a great company. We're very community driven, and I'm grateful for this opportunity to talk about how I met and how I came here. So, and if you keep up the good work, Mr. Loper, and it's MTA is full of some great drivers. I'm not familiar with our Yo-Ride drivers, but I know we have great drivers in both departments.
They care.
And they care about this community. So I'm just looking forward to continue working at MTA as well.
Wonderful. Well, see, now, Harvey, I know you're a little nervous about being on the air and talking to us, but wasn't it easy?
Yes, it was.
I think it's
easier than I thought. Anyway.
I think it's because of the wonderful hosts that we have here, don't you think?
Yeah.
That's great.
Checks in the mail.
There you go. Well, thank you, Harvey, and thank you, Michelle, for coming on.
Thank you for having
welcome.
us.
Well, let's get back to work, and thank you for your supervisors letting you off work a few minutes early to get down here. We appreciate that. Well, Jay,
Thank you,
next,
Tracy.
Yes, thank you, Tracy and Shantella.
MTA's still good to me.
And hey, next week we're going to have a chance to hear from Natasha Taylor, who wrote this letter.
Really?
Yes,
Good.
she's coming next week, so be listening for that. Yep. And listen every week as we bring you something special and wonderful that happens in our community with On the Road with the MTA, Stephanie K. and Jay. Thanks for listening. Do stay safe.
You've been listening to On the Road with the MTA. For more information on our services and community outreach, visit us online anytime at www.mtaflint.org and be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. The MTA, your community, your connection, your way.